Were you at all surprised at just how it's gone down and just finding out about that, Coach?
No, I wasn't surprised. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. And we as New Mexicans need to stop it. We need to stop it. These are student athletes.
What kind of student athletes and team you got this year?
I got a bunch of good student athletes. I got a bunch of good kids. We got a great team. We got something to be proud of. And the dear Lord will keep us from getting hurt. I think we'll make it happen, put another number on that wall. And that's our motto, is to put a number on that wall as we had done for the previous 5 years. And we're going to do it again.
What do you hope to get these guys tuned up for before the Hawaii trip next week?
Well, there's nothing to tune up, really. It's just, let's go. We've been practicing in good weather and bad weather. We've had our caps blow off our head and land over there on the Sandias. We've gone through it, and we've been going hard, and we're ready. Let's start her up. Let's go.
If there's one particular thing, I mean, what are you most excited about coming into this season? Is there one particular thing that stands out the most?
You know, the chemistry is really good. I didn't think our chemistry was very good last year. I thought we had some things that were in-house that I had not seen in a long time in my coaching career, but we've cleaned those up. Those people are gone, and we're back to being Lobo baseball. Chemistry is really good.
Can you just talk about the shortstop position? I saw you have two guys battling out over there. I mean, what's going on in that situation, and how you get to delegate like that position?
I love that part. I would want anybody to feel comfortable that they own a spot. I'm one of those old school guys that the butt meets the bench, and the bench sends a message to the butt, and the butt sends a message to the brain that you are not playing very well and you better change things. So I think that's how people get better.
Coach, is there a front runner for Hawaii, the shortstop position?
No, it's still battling. Why would I make that decision now, cowboy?
Coach, I want to ask you about a couple of the returning guys, specifically Stadjuhar. What do you expect out of him, and what kind of player has he developed into?
Well, I think he's the kind of kid that can be on the USA team. Offensively, he's as good as anybody on that USA team that would be on there. First team preseason All-American. I mean, he's got all the accolades. He can do it. Defensively, he's had to work, and we have a new assistant coach, Buddy Goldsmith, who's done a super job of raising him and making him a better player, and he's playing great defense, so that's the key. And he's going to hit for a high average. He doesn't have the power that DJ has, but he has some power, and he'll hit a lot of doubles. I'm expecting possibly 30 doubles there.
How about Jack Zellner?
Jack Zellner has a chance to be really special. He has quit getting big. When he gets big, he makes a lot of outs. He keeps it simple. He can hit for high average, and he'll hit some taters too. Not many taters in this yard. I built a big yard because this is a great place to pitch.
What about DeVito back behind the dish? You got him, and then where does that leave the DH position? Who you could have to fill in that spot?
Well, the DH position there's some young men, freshmen, that are really going to be really, really good. Our freshman class, I'm really excited about their development, and athletically, they're as good a class as we've had. But the DH spot, you don't worry about the DH spot. There's a lot of kids on this team that can hit, and I'm not worried about that part. It's the defensive catching part I'm worried about. And can DeVito hold up? Well, we're going to find out, because if not, there's two guys waiting in line. And one more time, my philosophy is next guy. You ain't getting it done, next guy. And I never want to be held hostage that I can't replace you.
Coach, what about Danny? He had surgery in December. Is he going to be able to play?
Danny thinks he's ready right now.
Yeah.
Danny's that guy.
Well, what do you think?
He's not ready right now.
Okay. So he won't play in Hawaii probably then?
No, he might pinch hit.
Okay.
Yeah. He still doesn't. Lateral movement's kind of scary.
Okay.
He snuck out and did a couple of drills yesterday without me knowing about it, and twinged his knee, and so now he knows about it.
Okay.
You mentioned pitching. Is it tough to get the right kind of pitching here, the kind of pitching you want? I mean, hitting's been an issue.
It's not getting the right kind of pitching. At the University of New Mexico right now, when you recruit, the great pitchers are a commodity. They're hard to find. They're hard to get. And once we get our stadium built, they'll walk in and go, okay, all right. And now we get those guys that are turnkey. You just stick them on the mound and they go. So right now we have to develop pitchers and get those guys. So Carson Snyder has turned into that guy, and Tyler Stevens has turned into that guy, and Colton Thompson's turned into that guy, and Drew Bridges is back to being Drew Bridges. And And Harrington's that way too. So I think our pitching staffs could be as good as it's ever been. And Victor Sanchez is back to being Victor at the back of the bullpen. And last year that's after we lost our Saturday guy, our Sunday guy, and our Tuesday guy right out of the chute. And so we had to move all the guys from the back of the game to the front of the game, and now we lost a lot of games in the ninth and extra innings. And now we feel better about that. And so you know how it affects your staff. You lose one guy, it's a domino effect.
Coach, your thoughts on last year and how things ended, and what's your approach?
Well, you know what, I was really proud of. It was a hard year. It was you come to the ballpark and you go, hey, where's so-and-so? He's on the DL now. And so that happened 15 times. But think about it. Is there any team that can lose 15 guys over the season and still be in a championship game at the end? Those kids did that. And so that speaks volumes that they never laid down. Because one thing I know, Lobos don't lay down. They keep fighting.
Andre Vihill's guy over the last couple of years, kind of trying to find the right spot for him, and kind of where's he at right now in his development and where he's best used?
Well, he's turned into a great outfielder, and he has a plus arm out there and a right field arm. You can't run on him. The obvious problem that we had with him is his swing. In high school, he's the record holder for the most home runs in a high school career. And so lifting the ball was something that he wanted to do all the time. And Bowers has the same problem. So, now if he can plane his swing off and hit line drives and sharp ground balls, he becomes a guy. Because he has a little bit of juice, but he's not very big. So he has to hit the way we hit. Because the way we hit plays out in any yard you play in. And he's getting that, and he stays on it. And the one thing that I do know, when he loses it, which he lost it during practice 2 weeks ago, he got in a batting cage and went to work. And within 2 days, he fixed it and was back to being the best hitter on the team. So he can make adjustments quickly, which is hard to do until you become a veteran.
Coach, your thoughts on local guys like that can be key contributors on the team. How unique is that to have a bunch of local kids?
That's what we do here. Mm-hmm. That's what we do here. It's about New Mexico kids. New Mexico kids, if all the New Mexico kids will continue to come to UNM, we will go to Omaha with New Mexico kids leading the way. There's no doubt about it. And so Andy Pratt behind the plate is going to be very special. A kid that you're really going to want to watch is Jared Mang from Los Alamos Player of the Year. He's going to be big time special too. And Austin Bell's going to be special. Austin Treadwell's going to be special. But they have a growing period. And Austin missed some of the fall, so he's behind. He's catching back up. He has that Lobo, blue-collar, grinded-out attitude. He'll figure it out. And these guys in the next few years, pretty cool.
And then what about you bring in a veteran second baseman in Eaton? I mean, what have
How
you
about
seen?
that?
Yeah, what do you see in him? How do you like him?
Well, after we beat San Francisco last year, he decided to transfer. Actually, he graduated, and he's using his last year as a graduate student at the University of New Mexico. When he shows up, your GPA goes through the roof right then and there. And you're going to be shocked because now he's learned the Lobo swing. He was already a great defender, and now we have gotten better at second base, and so he might be our best hitter. How about that? With some power.
You mentioned Jared Mang. What is it that stands out about him that you like?
Well, his athleticism's over the top, but his makeup and his character is unbelievable. His dad's a physicist, so he can figure things out pretty quick.
Coach, you talk about, you had some momentum this offseason. You look back behind there, you got an empty lot with construction getting ready to begin on that. Talk about that coming together for you. You got some naming rights on the field as well. It's been good for you.
No, the people of New Mexico have been really good to this baseball program and continue to be. And a $2.3 million locker room is the next step for us. I mean, unfortunately I mentioned in the paper, I didn't know it was going to be in the paper, but about the bathroom trips to Gibson, the gas station on Gibson. That happened. That's the truth. And that's
when they had to do number 2.
Yeah, that was the number, yes. But so the thing you had to deal with is that affects recruiting, that affects all this. But this team's been in the top 25 6 out of 8 years, and with that, these kind of things happening. How about look over there behind the third base dugout? What the fans have now. Before they were porta potties, right? So we're moving forward. Things are happening. That's cool, right?
Yep.
I've talked with some of the players, and they seem really excited about this year. And you always talk about putting another number on that wall. Do you see anything reminiscent of those teams that have put numbers on that wall in this one that you have this year?
Chemistry, buying in. When I came here in 08, we were very, very hungry. And it had reached a low point. You could look in the batting cage, and it was a bad situation at that point in time. It was just depression. And they wanted to try to do it. Well, they jumped their rear ends into a national. We were being named to possibly being in a regional that first year. And we were in the championship game against TCU. And in the 8th inning, we were ahead. But unfortunately, in the 9th inning, we were behind. But we had a chance to beat number 5 TCU at that point in time. And that told me, these guys buy in. Let's go get them. We ain't scared of anybody. And we've proven that over the years. National conversations always include University of New Mexico, except for Baseball America, who's mad at me, but they deserve it.
Coach, you got a bunch of your former players coming back here this weekend. Talk about being able to see those guys that put numbers on that wall here.
No, it's cool. They're going to be the Lobos may get their butt kicked tomorrow, because that dugout over there is going to be old Lobos, not that old, and not too old and not to execute the game. And a lot of them have been in the Futures game, or the Winter League, which is an elite league, or Cape Cod, or whatever. All those guys in that dugout over there, a bunch of them have been named to some kind of elite minor league player of the year award, and it's going to be hard. But we beat them and we went to isotopes.
Coach, what? Oh, go ahead.
Dalton's foot, is he 100%? Did he get to play this summer? When did he get back on the field?
He came back right away. He stayed the whole summer, rehabbed, and he's been healthy since fall. Yeah, 100%.
Coach,
but he's in a battle.
What about Fernando Fernandez? Are you going to use him? I noticed
setup guy.
Setup guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was wondering what.
Yeah, he's a setup guy. He's a late innings guy.
Okay.
Yep.
Anything else?
All right.
Perfect. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you,
All right,
Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Let's get a whole one more.
It's just like
First off, you excited for this trip to Hawaii? I mean, that's one heck of a way to start the season.
I know it's going to be awesome. Never been to Hawaii before. I think a lot of the guys haven't been to Hawaii, so to open up there, they got a great fan base. It'll be a great start to the season.
What kind of season and what kind of team do you guys have this year, and how is it different from last year?
We got a lot of depth this year, position-wise and pitcher-wise this year, and I think that's really going to help us out. And we just got a lot of grinders this year. I mean, we come out here every day. There's always guys here at the field, and we're always out here getting better every day, grinding. You know, out here 2 hours before practice. So we're a hard-working team.
What was the biggest adjustment for you last year as a freshman?
Just getting used to the pitching. It was the pitching was the biggest adjustment that I had to make last year.
You guys have a lot of uniform combos. It seems like every year you get more and more. You're wearing the turquoise today type deal. I mean, what do you think about, is that kind of the new growing trend in all of college athletics, whether it be football, baseball, and what do you think about it?
I think so. I think all the uniforms are really cool. You know, I mean, you just have so many options, and it's really more for the pitchers, I think, just making sure that they have a uniform they're comfy in to throw in. So when they find one that they like, we'll wear that one every time they pitch.
How you feeling health-wise? Everything, how's that going?
Good. Yeah, feeling good. A lot better than last year. A lot healthier than last year. So feeling good. We got a new strength coach, and he's doing a lot more prevention stuff this year with us. I think that'll really help out.
With all the injuries last year, I mean, and the way you guys performed, what do you think that says about this team that you have here, and what does that say about this squad?
You know, we got a lot of guys coming back that were on injuries and battled through injuries last year. I mean, Danny had a bad knee injury, and he was out there battling it out every single game. I think it just shows the toughness of this team. We're blue collar, like Coach B always says, and we're gonna fight till the end. And we're a bunch of grinders, like I said earlier. We're ready to go, and we're not afraid to get our hands dirty out here.
Carl, just your expectations for this year, man.
You got to have high expectations every year. I mean, University of New Mexico, expectations are always high for us, so we're hoping to go get us another conference championship this year.
Has there been any talk between you and your guys about the Cullen Neal deal and the threats he's received?
Honestly, I hadn't even heard about it until today. So I don't think there's been much so far. I didn't even know about it. I don't know how many of the guys actually knew about it, but that's an unfortunate thing.
Carl, what about I came in kind of late. Your power. I saw you the other day hit one over the right field fence, and do you feel like you've gotten stronger now? You think you're going to be able to maybe hit some more home runs this year? You hit 9 last year. I know it's a big park, so.
Yeah, yes, sir. I feel a lot stronger this year. Staying here this summer instead of going to summer ball was really beneficial for me because I really got a chance to work on my strength and my speed. So I'm feeling really good this year, and hopefully I can increase that number a little bit.
Coach talked a bit about chemistry on this team in particular. Have you noticed a big difference from last season to this season?
Yeah, I mean, we had good chemistry last year, but this year it's excellent. Everybody's always together. There's not really that one guy that kind of sits off by himself like we've had on teams in the past. Everybody's really united, and we all get along really well, but we're not afraid to get after it together and tell each other when we do something wrong. You still got to have that fine line between friend and still making sure the good job gets done, and we have that here.
Anything else?
Nope.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Hey, thanks, man.
Oh, yep.